Trying to compare everything off of Nick. Well, when I was, younger or whatever, I would lose a round. I'd come back. I'd talk to my brothers, my dad. I said, "That's a round that Scotty wins." I said, "I'm take too much and I'm under too much. I didn't bail out at the right." I said, "Scotty wins those rounds. That's the difference. Scotty Richardson knows when to get behind that thou and when he can turn it on that thou. And for me, I got a package race."
Well, that's me in a nutshell. They have changed my way of racing because I try to put that bar up there. Every time I lose a round, I just think of it like I'm Nick looking at that ticket. He never loses that round, and so I strive to become that kind of person in a race car. People think that we get in these race cars and we go straight down the racetrack and anybody can do it. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, they're taking 001 and 000. We're talking 2 and 3 10,000ths, and they just always seem to know what the right decision is over and over and over and over, and that's why they are who they are, and that's why they win over and over and over.
Yeah, I drive, Scotty let me drive some of his stuff, and you don't want to let him or his equipment down, but to get better, I feel like if I just hang out with them a little more and I learn a little more and I pay attention a little more and, take it a little more serious, that's the only way you're going to get better. Yeah, am I going to get beat? Yeah, but if you don't lose, but you got to learn from it. I saw Nick Folk make a run earlier today and he was behind on the tree and he comes up dead on 2 or whatever and wins, and I'm like, how do they do that? That's the difference in those guys winning the big checks consistently. Because, I don't mean to heart, but I just pay more attention to Nick because he lives by us, But he had a pretty good run last fall. I think he made the split at those $3 million races that were back-to-back or whatever.
100%,
I think he made all 3 splits. There was 1 or 2 guys that did pretty phenomenal throughout that, and I was like, that's nasty to do that. Nick was in there, of course. Nick Hastings, he was in some splits.
Well, there you go again, and he's swapping
and
feet.
Sarah won it.
Yeah.
And he was holding the 10th in a door car with a new motor and the whole.
Yeah, had one of Scotty's motors.
Yeah, it's just total insanity. I'm like, he ran that one out that one time on the red light or whatever, and he was a solid 10 or 11. He went under on 8th mile.
Hey.
And we ain't talking 100
right.
or 10th thou.
Well,
he went a 10th under.
That's one thing about it, as we sit here and talk about all this, I sure do have a whole lot to learn. And I'm going to tell you right now, Nick gave me one of them learning sessions today. Pollard gave me 2 of them yesterday. And Hot Rod will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning looking over the notes and trying to figure out how I can turn some more wind lights on the rest of this weekend.
So my boy Donnie Bradford earlier today come up and bought a raffle ticket. He says, "Hank, you want to drive my wagon? You can, And I said, "Yeah, whatever. I'm better stick to the announcing, And then a couple hours goes by and I see some 30s and 3 above. Like, maybe I should get in.
Then
now, these last 4 rounds, like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep announcing. Donnie, thanks for the offer, And he's like, "Hank, I already paid the entry fee and everything." Yeah, it don't matter.
Yeah, well.
Free and lose is still a lose,
Free and lose is a loss, but.
So.
Wow's all I got to say. We're going to get these 2 back down here in the lanes in a little bit and put on another show, but wow's just all I can say.
So look at that, the 4 lights. 006, 002, 006, and then, of course, the 15 from Sarah that he turns into a see ya.
Well, there you go. That's what we're talking about. The worst light of the round right there, and you've heard me say it all week long, working overtime. Sarah seems to be working overtime every time he has to. Works a little bit of overtime down there and always turns on that wind light. Figures out a way. He had the worst light of the round, and it doesn't matter. That's what you're up against when you go out there every single round against professionals of this caliber. And here you go again. Cameron Manuel, you can't say enough about him. He's 000 right there, laying it down. My boy Carson Brown, he's 006 up front. And here we go again. My boy Carson Brown, he takes 13 thou right there to lose, and looks like a 12 total. He had to take 6 or less. I'm sitting back at the trailer, and he may be down there doing the same thing. There's a certain person maybe wouldn't have lost that round. Maybe Sarah don't lose that round. That's how you make yourself better. But at the end of the day, he was down to 4 cars for $175,000. He's 6 up front. He runs under by 8 thou. 8 thou. I mean, I have a hard time saying 800s, you know what I mean? And here
the average light was 5.
The average light is 5.
And how far off the dial? 100th off, 8 thou under, 100th off, and 1 thou off. So we didn't go more than 100th off the dial. The average light was 005. So this is this race is a little different. Sometimes we see him, Scotty talks to me about how they're real tight in the beginning, Hank. Then they loosen up a little bit, and he goes, then they get really sloppy in the 6th, 7th, and 8th round sometimes.
Sometimes.
This one hasn't done that.
No, it has
None
not.
of these last 3 rounds, we haven't had slop. The one round we had some 40s and 30s. It was kind of a weird round.
Yeah, a little weird round. And but here we go again. Just over and over and over again. They're just laying it down, as my boy Joey says. They've got nasty here. It's just a testament to how tough this sport is. You don't just get in a race car, crank it, and go A to B.
So keep in mind, we're going to do this again first weekend in Muncie, Indiana. We're going to head out an 8th mile bracket race, 20 grand to win, 10 grand runner up.
It is time for our final.
So Brad and Austin are going downstairs to look for our finalists. Scotty Taylor, Jeff Serra, bring them up. Your fans are up here. They're deep up on the top on the hill. Hi, guys, up on the hill. Everybody wave to the tower.
Little wave to the tower. Working
Up,
hard
hang out.
for you down there. Working hard for the money. I don't believe I could be a singer, maybe just an announcer.
Oh, I can't. When I'm drinking, I can. So I'm not sure what happened here, but we got 2 Bible study groups going.
I want one. No, I just, yeah.
Trusted by all since 1960. Jegs.
Pulled barbecue sandwiches. Thank you to Kyle and SFG for feeding us tonight with the pizza and the cookies. Thanks for Kyle getting the pizza. Thanks for Joni going and get the table decorations. And there was one boy that really was appreciative of the confetti poppers. He went to every table and popped every one of them. Then he says, hey, you got any more of those confetti things? Good thing they weren't fireworks we set out on the table. That boy would have lit them all off. That tent would be going down.
As we look out the tower here, I see the kids are running around doing their thing, and that's a part of all of this too. You know, all of us, our family, our kids, you know, they have, my little one, when we're at the racetrack, he's running around like this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and come Sunday, it looks like we've shot his dog, you know what I mean? He lip all drug out, and you say, what's wrong, son? He said, we're fixing to have to go home, you know what I mean? That these kids have just as much fun as we do, and that's just as much part of the sport. That's how we got here. I was running around getting in trouble, doing burnouts with my shoes, you know what I mean? And Hank doing the same thing.
Nick and Brian, we was trading Matchbox cars when we were little, playing in the dirt. Yeah. John LaBoost Jr. and I told it earlier. Him and my brother Sean and I, they came to Byron Dragway in 1975 or whatever it was for the Bracket Nash, and they had a ramp truck for the Daytona or the Omni, and they had the big Plymouth GTX in the back on an open trailer. Well, we played with our cars on the ramp truck because it was indoor-outdoor carpeting black. Well, it was black because it was oil. So we didn't know. My mom beat us. We had oil all over our clothes and, you know, knees and hands. And B-Folk, he traded me out of 3 Matchbox of mine for one of his.
Yeah.
He's been scamming me since we were babies.
Well, that's like Carson Brown, you know. We've been teasing me about me not even knowing him. I watched him win his first race in the junior dragster, you know what I mean? I've been watching him beat their brains in as he's come up through the ranks, and here in the last year or two, he's been getting out here to, doing some of the bigger stuff, and here he is at 4 cars for $175,000 against the best in the business. I watched this kid grow up in a junior dragster, his whole family. I've watched his sisters and his brothers, and they're still in them, and it just amazes me. I mean, they always have a smile on their face. They're always polite. And they've always, so it's just special to see the young man come down here, and I've seen him grow up to be into the great young man that he is. I just love it, you know what I mean? And it's a part of these kids that we turned into this, and they'll turn into whatever, you know. But that's the special part about the sport, and that's why I was rooting for him so much. I've watched him come from the ranks. I've watched him win championships in junior dragsters. I watched him win his first first race. His dad helped me more times than I could ever see with a junior dragster with my son, you know, when nobody had to, you know. But they had boxes laying everywhere and told me I could have whatever I needed, you know. It's those stories and those memories and stuff that brings me to do what I do right here and travel around and tell these stories and hope that folks enjoy it. And it's just what makes the sport.
Well, and you know, that's what Don Hanson, the bottom line, he always says. It's the camaraderie.
Yes.
He said, the money's there and it does make a difference, but it really, there's only a handful or they're going to win that money today. You know, 4 or 8 guys out of 370 won that money today. The rest of us, we got to fill all that void with all the friendships and the fun and the stories. And, you know, there's been some crazy stories we can't really say on the G-rated Motor Mania, but I raced Nick when we got older one day. 4th round or something, Super Comp, Joliet, you know, so Sunday, got all Saturday night to figure out. And so whatever reason, I thought I could race Nick Folk at the finish line. I got schooled on that. I didn't know you could lock him up in a dragster, you know, so I hit the brakes, I dumped him, I locked him up, and it went sideways, and I about dumped her, and I got on the return road, and of course I lost, Nick won. And I get on the return road, and Dan Northrup, he's out there yelling, "Cat, I can see the whole side of your car. What happened there, Cat? What are you doing? What are you thinking?" He's yelling at me. Yeah. And, of course, I got back to the pits, and Ron Folk, the general, he yelled at me, "I've been up all night trying to figure out how you two idiots were going to screw this up." You know, because nothing changed. It didn't matter if we were in our 20s or if we were 6. You know, he could count us making some dumb mistakes, decisions.
Well, I've been racing some odd 33 years now. I've been in the sport for 50 years with my dad, and I've had one wreck at my hometown. My race car is a 66 Ford Falcon, which a lot of people that have been around me for years know me for the car. My dad drove it all his life. When he first put me in it, my dad had beat them everywhere in the country, you know, and then here I was just greener than a gourd, and I didn't win a round for a year. There wasn't no buybacks back then. I got 2 time trials and got beat the first round for a year and loaded my stuff up because they wasn't racing me, they were racing my dad in that car.
That's good fuel economy, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't wasting no fuel or much on parts, you know what I mean? But I took my lumps and I learned what I could, and I came back out the next year, you know, and turned it around a little bit. But it's those things right there that make it so special. But back to my little story there, like I say, I wrecked one time, and I was at my home track. My dad we just lived about 10 minutes from the racetrack there, and I had left. I was at 4 cars.
Scott Taylor and Jeff Serra, we need you, please. Come on. You are cutting into slushy time, 11:30, and we need our finalists back. $175,000 to win, $50,000 runner-up. Jeff, Sarah, Scott, Taylor, bring them up, please.
But back to my little story there, we were down to 4 cars, and I think we're probably running for a big purse, maybe $500 or something like that, and it was huge. And I go through the finish line, and I set that car down. My wind light comes on. The car vibrates just a little bit, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting straight up and down. The right rear leaf spring had broken the front. When I hit the brakes down there, it skipped on the ground a little bit, and it ripped the tires, rear end, the whole 9 yards out from under it, and it about flipped me over forward. I landed down on the guardrail, scooted around, didn't have a scratch on me. The car tore all to pieces. And they call my dad, and in about 10 minutes he shows up, and he comes down the racetrack, and he gets out, and the first thing he said to me, "You've tore my car all to pieces." He wasn't worried if I was all right, but he knowed I'd tore that car all to pieces, you know. So that's when we got fired off with Jegs, because we had to have a lot of those parts, I'm going to tell you right now. So that was my start of them getting some of that hard-earned money we had, because I had tore the rear end and the tires and the whole 9. I'm not talking about a tire or wheel. I'm talking about the whole apparatus was sitting at the 8th mile, and I was sitting at the 1/4 mile. The quarter panels tore out, wires are hanging everywhere, didn't have no brakes. I believe I got out of it before it stopped with a fire extinguisher. Well, my old buddy up on the hill there, it wasn't nothing but saw brawlers, and he seen me wreck, and he jumped off in that bank and come down through there, and he grabbed me and he said, "Hot Rod Man, you all right?" And he was bleeding from head to toe. Well, when the ambulance got down there, they grabbed him and told him to sit down and calm down, and they'd get him straightened out, and he's trying to tell him that he hadn't even wrecked, and he finally gets their attention. mentioned. He said, I didn't wreck, he did. I didn't have a scratch on me. They said, well, what happened to you? He said, I come off that bank right there. He was cut up. I think he ended up with stitches, you know what I mean? I didn't have a scratch on me, you know. They downed him, was trying to put him on the backboard there. It took him 10 minutes to tell him that he hadn't even been in a car in 2 hours. So, but yeah, my dad, he got down there. He wasn't even worried about me. He just wanted to know how bad I'd tore that car up.
Well,
so,
yeah, that's his pride and that's his baby.
So, you bet. Yeah, them brawlers got him. And then we had to have some new tires, too.
I did the same thing. My dad crashed at the finish line, flipped her like 6 times. And I had my work clothes on still, and I ran about half track, and I stopped, and I was like, oh, he'd be all right. And then I was like, nah, I better keep running, make sure, you know, this could be the big one. And I got down there, and they had him in the ambulance, you know, and they were asking him who the president was and stuff like that. And I got there, you know, and, you know, everybody knows me. I'm pretty physically fit. And my dad says, I don't think you better be checking me out. You better get my son in here and give him some oxygen.
Yeah.
Sit him down. Yeah, it was a quarter
mile run. He looks like he's about
run.
at it. Yeah, he looks like he's about at it.
I ain't done that since like 7th grade PE, you know. I hope nobody crashed again. I ain't running the quarter mile. It was quarter mile.
Looks like we got one of them. Looks like we got one of them down here. So, Sarah, just as soon as you get ready, I maybe even hear him here. Yes, there he is. So we've got the 2 finalists coming back here. And we'll give them just a few minutes here to get ready as Darlington Dragway's going to go out here and make sure the bite's still there, do what they've done best all weekend long. And we're going to bring you a final round right here for $175,000 real soon. And I've been waiting to see it since about Tuesday. Yeah, you're exactly right. $225,000 total right here for this round. So, folks, we got to thank Kyle Riley and SFG for bringing us this kind of event and making it possible. So, they'll get them ready down here. They'll talk it up. And it's just a special moment right here for both of those gentlemen right there. I can only imagine what's going through their mind. I wanted to turn cartwheels and flips and jump off banks for 20 grand, and they're sitting down here for $225,000, and I can only imagine what they're thinking.
So back to the one big family. You know, at the racetrack, you don't see nobody fighting. Everybody's getting along out here, telling stories, smiling, laughing, joking, having fun. So when I was young, when I got started, Rodney, you had to pour the water, you know, in front of the tires for your dad to do the burnout. You know, you didn't have these fancy water boxes. So we had, you know, 1-gallon water jugs, and you had to customize them. We all had customized jugs, you know. I had Autolite sticker one week, and it'd take me all week to get the sticker and the glue off to put on a new Fram one or a new Jegs sticker. You know, we had custom water jugs. Us boys that put our parents in the water. I struggled mightily, though, with the wind and going back around the car when the burnout started.
Yeah. Well, Hank, it's funny that you say that. I grew up doing the same thing. My water jug was a peak jug, you know, one of the old antifreeze jugs, and carried that thing around. I couldn't hardly, I was just barely big enough to pick it up.
Right.
But my dad didn't have anybody. Well, I mean, my mama worked in the ET booth. I mean, we didn't have these fancy slips back then. She wrote it all down by pencil because she had a headset on, and my brother handed the tickets out. You know what I mean? My dad mowed the owner's yard so we could race.
We had the downspouts would come down from upstairs.
Drop the ticket through the spout. I've been there and done that too.
And us kids would fight to be in the bottom of the tower and give them tickets out. Here they pay people to do that now.
Oh yeah.
Ticket booths. Us kids fought over that, you know, and then you had the board with all the hooks. So you had to use the last 2 numbers of the car to hang it on that number 9. You know, if it was 3, 4, 5, 9, you hung it on a 9, and then they would come up and there was no ticket booth on the return road. They had to get out of their cars and their pits and come up to the bottom of the tower and get their ticket. But we loved handing out the tickets, you know. Plus, you got to see how bad the other. And I had a photographic memory, so I would tell my dad, "Oh, he just went 11:07 with the 58 lamp, Dad. He can't run that dial, you know." So I do the time runs. I'd hand the tickets out, and then I'd go back out and help my dad during eliminations.
Yeah.
But I didn't do good. That's how my life goes. I'm always a little off on my plan of execution. So I would pour the water, and I would go to run back around behind the car to get back where I started, and that's when the burnout would start. Well, naturally, I'm soaked with water. I'm soaked with rubber, and then it would get in your clothes, you know, when it's hot, and then it would dry. It would melt to your clothes, so you just And you can't get it off. If you scrape it, it smears. Your mom, what? This was a new shorts and shirt.
Well, it only took me a couple of those little episodes like that till I learned to go to the passenger side first and come around to the driver's side and throw that water and then give him a thumbs up so he'd know he's ready. And did you ever have to put the VHT out with the little Joey bottle and put him about 2 or 3 strips out?
No, my dad wouldn't trust me with no actual chemicals that were flammable.
It's neat that you're from Tennessee and you're from Illinois, and you guys have the same exact stories.
Yes,
I mean, I love that all across the United States it's the same thing.
Yes, well, here we go again. I mean, back then they didn't really prep the racetracks, I don't guess. So you did a burnout and you'd come up about 5 feet. I mean, if you've watched me all day long, I've done a burnout and I'd go up there about
And the short one.
8 feet by the starting line there and do me a little dry chirp. I'm trying to throw a little of the trash off if I've rolled up, and that's all I'm doing. And my dad would roll up there about 5 or 6 foot, and I'd have to put him about 3 stripes of VHT under each tar again. And so then they'd spin through that, and then they had to do them about 4 dry chirps to get that worked in. You know what I mean? And the first time I ever went to a racetrack, and the improvement for the water box was they started putting barrels at the water box and would fill them up with water. Now you didn't have to carry that jug. You just grabbed it out of the jug.
Scooped it?
I thought we was uptown, you know what I mean? I said, Dad, you ain't gonna believe what they got in the bleach box. You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was like gold, you know what I mean?
I took my jug on the road. When we traveled, my jug was part of the toolbox.
Well, our jug stayed in the trunk, and that way we never left it, you know what I mean? And one of the biggest whippings I ever got, my dad had gotten beaten at 411 Dragway. It was off downhill, and I throwed that jug. I was mad, and I throwed it, and it slid up under the trailer and left a water trail. My dad got back and seen that, and I won't ever do that again. As I hear noise, we'll go back to that in a minute. We got business to take care of right here. $225,000 up for grabs right here, and I've got Scott Taylor over here in the right-hand lane. Who you got, Hank?
Jeff Serra, left lane, 458. It's going to be a fabulous race. We know that. I like this fast door car is not getting chased too hard from a 450 dragster.
Well, like I said there just a minute ago, that's one special little piece right there in the right-hand lane Scott Taylor's got. I mean, if he'll let me come over and clean that thing up for him, I'd be obliged, you know what I mean, and feel like it was him doing me a favor instead of me doing him a favor, because I don't know what I'd ever be able afford to wipe on anything like that. But that thing is just nice. Scott Taylor has worked hard all day long, and I'm sure he's going to try to put that 474 up on the board. As they light them up and get them ready, son, they light them up out through there. They don't got to do them a little dry chirp, son. If I tried to do a burnout like that, we'd have parts laying everywhere.
Them brake lights are bright on that Camaro Roadster, but thank you, everybody, for coming to SFG this week. Thanks for hanging in there with 5 or 6 oil downs. Thanks for the Mother Nature sprinkles. Everybody being patient. We got 2 $100,000 races left this weekend. If you got the weekend off, you're sitting around home, bring it.
I want to say thanks, everybody, because we're getting ready to hit the road. Hank, I'll see you probably in the morning.
Maybe. Mornings ain't my friend. You know
Son,
that.
Alvin, one of the best that's ever told a story, as far as I'm concerned.
So we're putting them in. Keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, the ride's fixing to start, folks. Who you got? Get up on the fence. It's getting ready to get nasty right here. 474 in that right-hand lane, 458 in the left. Got them in, trio coming. Booyah! Got 2 out green, got us a race. Uh-oh, one of them's in trouble. Who's it going to be? Yes, sir. Jeff Serra, not to be denied. He's 008 up front, 30 over in that right-hand lane. You give Serra that much room, and he's just never going to get it wrong. He did take 39 right there, and I did see those brake lights come on in the right-hand lane from Scott Taylor, and I haven't seen Jeff Serra take nothing like that all day long. He got a little dose of what he'd been given all day long, but it doesn't matter. He had too much up front. Jeff Serra is the man of the day, of the night, of the hour, of the minute. $175,000 going to Jeff Serra right there. He got the Scott Taylor throw the anchor out like there. He stopped that thing like a snail on VHT, and it just wasn't good enough. He gave it a good valid effort at 134 mile an hour. He went a 76 off that 74. The first time I've seen him tardy in 6 or 7 rounds probably at all. And here we go again. I'd have been shaking so bad down there. I'd have had stuff all over everybody. But congratulations to Mr. Jeff, Sarah, and family, and everybody that made that done. He breaks a race car. He gets in one he's not been in. And he comes right back down here and takes that thing right on to the finals. Now, that's getting it done right there. That's why he's the professional that he is. And they're fixing to take the show down there to the winner's circle right there. And they're going to get an interview with these two young gentlemen right here. That's been well-deserved. They've worked hard all day long. It's been hot. We thank Darlington Dragway, SFG, Jegs, and FTI, and Fuel Tech, and all the people involved. And it's fixing to get special down here as they give this check out. My boy Hank's going to go down there and call the shot and do the interview, and we're going to see what the excitement is. Oh, Jeff, Sarah, he'll be down there like he's just ate a Swiss cheese pie or something. It ain't going to be no big thing to him. And son, it's special. Kyle Riley, son, we can't thank you enough for putting the show together, and we're going to let Hank get down here and get them in victory lane down here, and we're going to celebrate with them. Congratulations to everybody, my Carson Brown family, and the whole 9 yards. We love you. We'll see you bright and early in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. The chapel service. We're going to have church service over here. You don't want to miss it. We all need a little bit of prayer, and they're going to bring you a victory lane down here you ain't never seen.
This one works. Forget, we welcome everyone to come on over towards the winner's circle area. Help celebrate with Jeff. All our Bible study friends. Come on. Jeff, Sarah, come on, buddy. Bring it up here. Pick a card, Jeff, Sarah, and bring it up. We're waiting on you. 006 or something? 34? Sarah, we're going to put you on the 2-minute time clock. Come on, Jeff. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you. Man, this thing's loud.
Kyle, Sarah.
Jeff, Sarah, come on, buddy. Bring it up here. Jeff, you got a photographer and a lot of people up here. Come on, buddy. Jeff, Sarah. We even got the family dog. So we got our runner-up, Scott Taylor. Smell the race fuel, buddy.
Could have smelled it when it broke.
Oh, what broke?
The fuel regulator came off. The top of it came out, or come loose, against Kelly Smith, and it stumbled when it left, and I could smell fuel, and got back and was able to fix it.
And keep rolling and making money?
Yeah.
Scott Taylor, thank you so much, first off, to support the SFG races. I know it takes a lot for people to load up, bring 2 cars, come racing, and all that good stuff. And everybody come on in, I'll get out of the way.
Yeah, sure.
So this was our no-split nationals. We were trying to avoid the big split, put a lot of round money in. Kyle put a lot of thought into it. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife and all my kids at home, all my guys that work for me. I wouldn't be able to do this without them. They keep it rolling while I'm gone and allow me to do what I love to do. So I thank my mom, my dad, my wife, my little kids, my kid,
It's okay to
Steve
get
Parker,
emotional.
Billy Swain, Kelly Smith. The guys all helped me this weekend. My wife's at home with the kids. She's probably going nuts right now, but she's a little bit spastic anyway. So
Hi, Mrs. Taylor at home. So,
yeah.
kiddos, name them up by name.
Andrew, Allie, and Cole.
Nice. 3 kiddos.
They usually
So
come with me, but
I know your wife's usually always
Yeah.
right by the car every time you make a run. So tell us about the car. Who made the car? Who built the car?
it's a Miller chassis, and then John Parks from Chrome Works put it together. It is really, really good.
And it's beautiful. It's
Thank you.
sexy.
Yeah.
So come on in. Let's take some pictures. Scott Taylor, 10 rounds. That's a long day. Penske Racing Shocks. More money just keeps coming. Another $150 gift certificate to you if you wear them out going 10 rounds. So y'all good?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First,
Not much of an interviewer, so I'll,
you're all right.
yeah.
It's a nervous time. It can be. My first time when I went to announce, I was sick the night before. I was like, oh my God, I got to talk for all them people. And I talk all the time. Now, I don't worry about it so much. So Kyle gives me the opportunity. I'm very blessed. Kyle, come on in here, buddy. Kyle, Scott Taylor, Kyle Raleigh. Kyle, what was the kind of thinking with the no split nationals and the format? I know you gave it a lot of thought. We talked about it before. Do we have to say it's $100 grand? I said to him, can't we just call it a 40 and and split it up? And he's like, I don't think they'd come, Hank. So then what'd you do? You made it 175 and 50 in good round money. So
Well, the idea of it was to try to stop the downtime in the lanes with everybody splitting it up, but that much money involved is still going to be deals, so no way around that, which is good for everybody.
So we're gonna have our team come on in. Daryl Watkins, that's his God-given name right there. Rodney Fincham, come on in. Scott, get your friends in here. Get everybody in here. Kelly, did you get the big socket, Kelly, that you needed?
Here you go, Scott. Thank you.
And we even had John Coughlin. We even had John Coughlin from Jegs call in tonight when you guys were down to 6. John called in on the phone. We stuck the mic in there. We did some interviews and questions, and oh yeah, it's all good.
Got yourself.
They're gonna spill it on you anyhow, I imagine. So we're gonna do some photos. Scott Taylor, great job, 10 rounds, man. I know what's involved. I mean, I don't because I ain't never been there, but someday. What's his deal? Oh boy. Jeff, Sarah, if you're not coming up, can you send somebody up to let us know, and we're gonna close this party down then. All we're missing is the driver.
The winner.
The winner.
Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeff. Is looking for Waldo. He sent his cars and his friends. Champ, you doing the interview?
Hell no. I can't win a round. He can win a whole race.
Yeah. 2 cars, same day.
That's the good part of it.
I see Jeffrey. He's coming. Let's give him a round of applause. The man of the hour, Jeff Sarah. He's here. All he does is win. Come on, Hollywood. You're doing good. You're close. Hi, buddy.
How's it going, pal?
It's not as good as you. What the heck?
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I wish I was Jeff Sarah. I wish I was half as cool as you, you know?
Well, you still got some time.
I'm not much. I'm old. So, Jeff Sarah, incredible. We're going to give you the Riley right off the bat. You earned a Riley trophy. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it holds liquid, but I bet your team's going to find out.
It looks like it probably does.
All right, we'll check it out. So, who are you going to thank, Jeff?
Well, I have to thank my family at home. FTI, Troy, Gary, Donovan, Steve Witherow, my car owner. Champs Performance, Jegs, Mickey Thompson, all my friends that were here to help me. The big blocks, for sure, big blocks. Adrian and Brianna, I know you're watching at home. Miss you guys.
Let's get over in front of this a little more.
Yeah, okay, well.
We're not even on the right page.
You're the boss here. I'm just following your lead.
Following you. Any round that you want to talk about that might have been different than what you thought it was going to happen, or?
Well, yeah, we broke a rear end. I was around the Jegs car, and I felt a vibration going down the track. It was the first time I was in the left lane in a while, so I thought maybe the car was like unloaded or whatever. So I'm just hanging on, trying to get there, and I don't remember the exact details, but I got there by a thou. That was definitely lucky. Then we get back to the trailer to figure out the rear's broke, and I had the buy run.
The buy, that was beautiful.
So it was just like a series of fortunate events. You know, I can't really explain it. It just worked out.
Good.
About as perfect as you could imagine. I don't know.
So I haven't seen you personally. I texted you. You won and runner-up to yourself in a $100-grander. I don't know that that's ever been done on any stage. See, that's what I got you for, Troy. Yeah, never. You would know, Mr. Two-time $1 million winner. You would know. Gary?
Yeah, I'll help you with that too.
Thanks. I got help everywhere tonight. So,
We all need help.
so that's phenomenal. And then to bring it and back it up with the 175K win and 2 different cars, 10 rounds, phenomenal.
Yeah, I have great equipment, and the cars are almost identical. So when the one went down, I'd driven this one plenty, so it didn't really bother me. The buy run was a added bonus. Then it gave me a little bit more data on what I could run, so it just helped. It helped to finish it off.
So I know you were busy racing and whatnot, but Alvin says, I'll bet you $20, Hank, that Jeff wins the next round in that car even. And I'm thinking, I don't know, he's really good, but
take
he ain't
the
been. I didn't know you had the buy run.
Oh, okay.
Alvin did. Alvin was trying to snake me for $20. Yeah. So,
Pretty good.
congratulations,
Thanks, sir.
Jeff Sarah. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal guy. I like you. You're a good guy. Again, like I talk about that a lot. A lot of the people that win a lot, Troy, Gary, and you guys are all still very humble and nice, and you don't walk around all bowed up and stuff. You guys are all very approachable. You're all very helpful and nice, and I like that, and it's a good sport, and that's what we talk about all night. Big family, and you do this with your family, so.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. Thank you to SFG for giving us a chance to race for this much money. It's insane that we could go racing for this much money almost every weekend. So got to thank Kyle and you guys, the whole team.
Kyle's gonna give you a Riley. I want to see if it holds liquid sometime. I want to hear about it. I'm gonna give you a $300 Penske gift certificate.
It's gonna get ruined, so you should keep that.
Oh yeah, right. I'm gonna get wet.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I'm gonna
there's
move.
a beer shower coming through here.
Congratulations, Jeff Scherer. Everybody, let him hear it.
Hey, I need a Jegs hat.
Hank Mulligan, thanks for watching Motor Maniacs.
Hey, I need a Jegs
Peace
hat.
out.
They won't give me one. I gotta get one.
Hank Crank.
Jegs. 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 Trusted by all since 1960. What you want, when you want it, at a price you want to pay. Jegs.
Well, that was my cue and I missed it. I'm so sorry. Okay, congratulations to Jeff Serra and Scott Taylor. Congratulations, Jeff, on another great victory. 175K. Wow. And they did split, I guess, but it was the idea. I thought the idea was awesome. Anyway, tomorrow we will be bringing you the Thursday FTI 100K on Saturday. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what time we're supposed to go live, but it's somewhere probably around 9:30. If it's going to be earlier, then we'll go earlier. But I think 9:30 is probably a good. We're going to start with the dragsters round 1 because that's when the driplets took us out. So there's no time runs or anything like that. We'll go directly into the dragsters round 1. Congratulations also to Jerry Brewer for his victory on the Wednesday Fuel Tech 100K, and congratulations to John Brown for his victory for the Tuesday Jegs 20K warm-up. Wasn't this a show? I tell you what, those announcers were really entertaining. We enjoyed them too. So say your goodbyes to each other, and we will see you tomorrow probably about 9:30. Okay? Let me see. Here I am. Bye.